I'm live, maybe. Hi, welcome to Live Coding with me. Rachel is who I am. I'm a little sleepy today. Again, continues to be very mysterious. Today, we're going to be working with our, what would you call this? Assistants. Enrique says, there we go. The third one is the good one. And Osvaldo says, maybe let's go so we can do this, maybe? Sorry, my Spanish is, not really there, but also I live in the US, so like I'm exposed to it a little bit. So, what are we doing today? When I opened Rasa X this morning, it looks like we're not connected on GitHub anymore. Which is okay, because I want to make some changes in, oh, a little peeky. I want to make some changes in our assistant first, and then do the whole thing. So, what do we do? So last time, I'm getting all out of order. I'm sorry. First, let me have a sip of coffee, and then I'll talk about what we're going to do today. We can talk to our assistant. And basically what the assistant is doing is it's sort of the same thing as New York Times dialect quiz. This one that I've shown like a bajillion times on this particular, is the dialect quiz down? I think the quiz is down. Okay. Well, basically you answer a bunch of multiple choice questions and then you get an answer about where in the US it sounds like you're from, but usually there's like a little interactive widget there and the widget gone. So I guess it could be my ad blocker, or it could also be that the widget is just out. Robbie says video off. Hi, Rachel. Oh, Enrique said video off. Oh, it's back. Okay. Oh, it was just disconnected quickly. Sorry about that. I've got some network problems I've been struggling with for a bit. Hi, Robbie, and hi, Asoba? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. So, last week, we got it all up and running on Rasa X. And the thing that we noticed is when we returned the, let me find the specific utterance. It's going to be in the domain file. So when we return this utterance that says, you sound like you come from dialect, the thing that we set the dialect slot to was not actually printed, so it didn't show up. And what I'm interested in doing is making sure that the assistant actually prints that response and also that it's in sort of a nice human readable format. So let's go to our actions and look at what we return. So I believe what we're returning currently is a data structure that's just like brackets, list maybe? I think it's a list. So it's the output of this get top 3 KNN formatted response. And I think what I want to do is I want to make it so that we can so that it's a little bit more human readable. Do I want to do that in the original function where we return the top 3 responses, or do I want to do it here right before I set the slot? I think I want to do it here right before I set the slot because that's where I might want to change the wording in the future. So, if people talking about finding jobs at Rasa, we do have some open positions if that's something that you're looking for. It's on, I think, rasa.com/careers. So I want to create a text string. Do I want to add an f-strings dependency in here? I don't think so. I think I want to use the built-in Python 3 string output thingadoogle. I forget what it's called. I'm sorry. I'm like running at half speed this morning. So Python insert variables in strings. That's what I want. I know that it uses like it sort of like uses the bash notation. Do I remember the specific bash notation? No, I do not. All right, there we go. Okay. So all right, so we're going to create some text that's a little bit easier to do. Sorry, so I'm still thinking. So right now we're getting back the state abbreviations, which are two-letter abbreviations that map to state names. I don't know how useful that's going to be to someone who's not super familiar with the US states, but like I memorized them in school at some point. I do sometimes get mixed up between some of the M's. I think MA is Massachusetts and MI is Michigan and M is Minnesota. It can also be a MN maybe? Anyway, I think for now we'll just stick with the abbreviations and then later on we can go back and switch that up. So I think what I want to do is separate these out into unfortunately I don't have like an example that I can show you real easy right now, but it's like it's an array? It's a list. It's not an array because arrays have to be numerical in Python. I'm pretty sure. How's my Python data structures? Fine. Okay, so I want to... Can I do multivariable assignment for this? Enrique says, I don't get the points of the brackets in the return statement. It might be that that's something that the SDK assumes. Yeah, it works with them, so I'm not going to take them out. But if you wanted to try that, you definitely be welcome to. So I want to assign each item in a list to a separate variable Python multi-assignment. Let's see if I can get the answers I need from that. How to assign each element of a list to a separate variable. That's what I want. All right. Okay, so you should be able to just say destructuring is what that's called. Okay, so it's 3 items, so I should just be able to say dialects. Hopefully. Pretty sure that we return... I'm pretty sure this returns a list. And then from here, the state that most closely matches your language use is S1. Was there a space in there? Following string allows you to format codes. Sorry, I'm pulling up the string formatting documentation so I can check that out. And this is just so that I'm hoping that by formatting it as text with a little bit more clear expounding explanation, A, it will be easier for users to understand, and B, it will be rendered properly. Because I'm guessing that it might be treated maybe as like an HTML tag. I don't know. I don't know what's up, but it wasn't printing even though the slot was being set to that. So if it was the brackets, it wouldn't work in local mode though. So Enrique brought up the brackets around this return statement. Brackets, return statement, Python. Should a Python return statement have parentheses? Maybe it's the fact that there's brackets. Maybe if I take the brackets out, it works. Maybe we do that first. Okay, let's do that first, actually. And we'll just get rid of these and come back to them later if we decide that we need it. Let me find something in the Rasa documentation with slot set. Rasa slot set. So slots are basically variables that you use within a conversation. And the slot set command allows you to manually set the value of a slot to a specific value dependent on the rest of your pipeline. Let's make this big. Slot set. No, yeah, it is in brackets in the documentation. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that that is correct. I also don't know why they are there 100%, but I'm just gonna follow the docs faithfully because that does not usually lead me wrong. So actually, let's just undo everything we just did. All right, back here. This one followed by what am I doing? Multiple variables in a text string. Python. Is it at this point where f strings would be a more elegant way to do this? Maybe. Let's see if I can find an example, pull this up with multiple conversion specifier, local variable names, dot format, f strings. So the nice thing about f strings is you just put the f at the front of it, and then it oh, do I need to import f strings? Actually, aren't they built in now? Isn't that the whole thing that was the announcement at like PyData a couple years ago? Are f strings built into Python? Because that would be the easiest solution. Improve formatting syntax. Sorry, I'm gonna pull up a blah 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 blah. As of Python 3.6, they're more readable. That's the old way. Yes, it's got lots of problems, but are they built in? Oh, okay, they're built in. Oh. Fantastic. Okay, so we're just gonna use them and it'll make my life much easier. So I'm just gonna put F in the front, and then where I want my variable, it is in curly brackets, I think. Hey, Anarchy, it's been a while. Nice to see you. Curly brackets, I was correct. And then what was that? It was state underscore 1. State underscore 2. And state underscore 3. All right. Fantastic. And then I'm just going to quickly check my endpoints, and I'm going to change what the action endpoint points to. So I'm going to test this locally just real quick. And if you remember, a bunch of times I've been like, it's so slow on Windows, and there's this thing. Did I type that right? 127.0.0.1. I think I added an additional 0. IP address home. Anyway, so when we've been using our assistant locally on Windows, there's been like a 2-second lag between asking a question and getting an answer, or like between turns in a conversation. And it's due to the way that IP addresses are resolved in 127 IPv4 versus IPv6. And as a result, its localhost does not resolve to, home the first time. Yeah, okay, that is correct. Localhost does not resolve to, this IP address the first time. First it throws an error, and then it does resolve to that address. So hopefully this won't actually help us with our little lag issue. So let's try this out and make sure it works. As I run actions. Did I save it? I saved it. Hi Benjamin, I would like to do a Rasa certification. Oh, fun. I'm pretty sure we have one coming up. I will say I'm not super. That do be a syntax error. Yes, I see how that could be. So I have a double quotes here and a single quotes here, and that just ain't right. Thank you for the helpful error message. There we go. Okay, so that should help. And I believe we're using through Python 3.7, so it should be, fstring should be included. All right, that works good. And then we should be able to do Rasa shell. I guess I could launch Rasa X in local mode as well, but this, I don't know, this might be the last time we use the shell. Oh, it's kind of nostalgic, I guess. See how much faster that is? So I'm just gonna go through and answer A to all the questions. Yeah, so the best way to learn about a certification, I think it might be on our docs page, so rasa.com/docs. I think that somewhere on there there's a link to sign up for the most recent one. And we also have a course that we'll be launching on Udemy that'll sort of prepare you for the documentation process, the certification process. So things like getting everything set up and installed and working on your very first assistant, and then the certification is a little bit more advanced. It's not, it's a very it's a easy gradient. Yeah. Hassan says, today I heard about GPT-3. What is it? So GPT-3 is a transformer language model. It's similar to BERT. The big differences are that it is much bigger. And also, I keep forgetting that I don't have to wait a super long time for each of these turns. It is much bigger, and it also, instead of returning numbers that you can use as input to other parts of your pipeline, it puts out the final text string. Okay, that's not the error I expected. 597. State state_level_knn.joplib. joblib in load. So basically it's a statistical model of what words are likely to occur next to each other in language, and it's I think going to be a helpful part of a lot of NLP pipelines, but also it's kind of been overstated about like how many things it can do. We've done some other videos on the Rasa channel that I think will help as well. So we read the paper, we read the GPT-3 paper. I have NLP for developers that's like a quick explanation, and then the paper we're reading right now for the paper reading group, towards true NLU or something. We also talk a lot more about sort of the limitations of that type of model. So some things to check out. Error, no such file or directory. It's right there. There is though. It's in the same directory, so that is the correct path. Dispatcher domain, line 303 run. Loading the file, stay KNN, load, no such file or directory. Mysterious. Benjamin says, great, I actually have experience with Rasa. Yeah, then the certification workshop should be easy going. Enrique, same error, file not found actually. Oh. This is extremely mysterious because the file is found. I'm looking at it with my eyes. I mean, I can't open it because it's pickled. Yeah, why not? So it's there, it's got stuff in it. We haven't accidentally erased it or anything. It's just not loading. Do I have to say that it's in my current directory? It wouldn't be why I changed the endpoint, because the only thing that that's doing is it's replacing one alias with another. Yeah. Robbie, do you have any advice on how to increase professional social network? I think meetups are generally a pretty good way to meet people who are interested in the same things that you are, or I use Twitter a lot for just sort of like chit chat and learning about things. So Twitter might be good. If you're in a place where there's a lot of sort of like local WhatsApp groups, I know a lot of people use that for sort of discussion. Yeah. I would say my number one networking tip is just don't call it networking. Just use it as an opportunity to like meet other people and find out about them and what they're doing and learn some stuff. And I think that will make your experience much more enjoyable for everybody. Okay. Well, this is an error what I don't know how to deal with. And I only have the one action server, right? It's not like I'm accidentally doing it somewhere else. Nope. Well, and if I was in the wrong directory, it wouldn't have started at all. And the function was registered. It's just the loading that's the problem. And it's not like it can't unpickle it because there's some sort of like version error or something. It just doesn't see it. I don't know how to handle that. I don't know what to do next. Probably I only use YouTube. I don't know, that might be good in some places. I think it's really going to be dependent on where you are specifically, whether YouTube is good for professional networking or not. I get the impression that it's much more of a professional networking site in India than it is in the US, unless specifically in the US you want to be a YouTuber and that's like the job that you want. Well, very mysterious. do not know what could be happening. Did I change the endpoint after I launched the action server? Maybe that's it. Let's see if this works. Enrique says the model bits folder messed up everything, I think. So we, just for some background here, we moved things from the model bits folder into the same folder as our actions in order to make it easier to add these to our Docker image, which is what we're using for our Rasa X server so that it knows what, it has access to these files. I wonder, let's just try using Rasa X locally. And see if we have the same problems, because I wonder if it might be something specific about shell, possibly. And it just says that I should retrain some of my models. All right, so this is a local version. You can see that it's running on localhost here instead of a public-facing URL. Let's talk to our assistant. Actually, let's make sure we have an active model. We've got an active model. Fantastic. Let's talk to our assistant. Oh, wait. Do we need to retrain? Because we changed some stuff in the actions. No, we don't, because the stuff that we changed in the actions should not change anything else. So let's just quickly talk to our assistant. Move me so you can actually see what I'm saying. Yeah. Trinetra says, what's your opinion on GPT-3's capability? I'd love to take a quiz. I've talked about it quite a bit. I think it's an interesting engineering achievement. I think it can be part of a good NLU project. I don't think that it is complete in and of itself to do all tasks, which is sort of what the authors were claiming. I don't think they'd say all tasks. I think that they were very upfront about the tasks that it really struggled with, which I think is you know, very fair and reasonable. Trencher says, please close the file before using it. The joblib file? What? We can give it a shot. We've done it before with the file open, so I don't know that that's the issue, but you know what? I'm willing to give that we'll give that a shot. All right, keep going on this. So just going through and having a conversation, and it is again much faster now that I have I figured out what it was. It didn't take that long. I just like knew that there was something I could have done, and I didn't want to, so I didn't. I think we have like 3 or 4 more at this point. Also, if you zoom out a little bit, it will automatically go to the bottom. It's something to do with being zoomed in a little bit. As you can see, sort of beside my side here, these slots are being filled with whatever is closest to the answer I'm giving, which is the single letter A in the multiple choice options that were used to fill in the quiz in the first place. Yeah, Enrique says, and LinkedIn. Oh yeah, duh. LinkedIn, definitely a good place for professional networking. Krisha says, hi Rachel, what's the best policy to find the right action of the intent? I noticed intent identified correctly, but the action for that intent is not triggered as per the story. So if you want just like specifically the the exact action, the exact intent you see in the story, I'm gonna double check because we've updated some stuff recently, but nope, config. The memoization policy is the one that's like, hey, if things are happening exactly the way they happened in a story that I provided, keep doing the exact thing that happened in the story. So if you've used a different policy, maybe sneak the memoization policy back in there as well. I know there's some other policies we've used that Rasa X. Nope, this is the other one. So you can see this is not the local version that we were testing in. Local version, there we go. All right. Yeah, so if you're having trouble with that, that might be a policy to add. What's up? Why is this happening? Okay, so what you can see is that the action detect, let me zoom in. The action detect dialect was triggered. However, when we utter the dialect value, the slot, let's go scroll, the slot for dialect has not been filled, right? So the thing where we said set slot to the output of the classifier didn't work. So let's check our log and see what happened here. So this is the okay, let's see. Encountered an exception while running the action detect dialect. Bot will continue, but the action events are lost. Please check the log of your action server for more. Okay, so that's the log of our Rasa X server. And they still can't find this file. Remember earlier when I was like, we're gonna launch today. We'll definitely figure out what our problem is with the thing not being printed. That's okay. We got time. We might still figure it out. So what I think I want to do is I want to go to my actions folder. I want to go to my actions file and I want to update this so that it says in our current directory. Oh, we're going to upload this to Linux though. So which slash should I use if I'm using Windows now, but I am going to use it on Linux in the future? Oof. I do not know. I also am suddenly forgetting which slash is Linux and which slash is Windows. I think this is the Windows slash. I think this is the Linux slash. And that might work. Let me see. Okay, yeah, you're not gonna autocomplete. Will you autocomplete with this one? Nope, sure won't. Okay. Let's just try that and see if this works, perhaps. Because this says look in the current directory and then find this file. Maybe. And actually, once I do that, I think, so let's kill our server. And let's kill our server. All right, up and running. And then let's use Rasa shell just real quick. And then I'm going to move me so I'm not on top of the thing I'm typing. I think I can just do detect dialect and trigger that as an action. I believe it is slash and then action detect dialect. Okay, and then just the name of the action. I believe this will work. Let's find out if I'm right. Was my slash backwards? Listen, maybe. All right. First, an intent detect dialog, which is not defined in the domain. Please. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. You're sending an intent, not an action. So let's, I guess, just go through the quiz again. Really quick. Actually, I think there's a way to do this. Rasa trigger action from shell. Yeah. Christian says, thanks, Rachel. I hope I don't have any other parameters in that policy. I mean, usually I'm trying to remember if we are recommending convert being used with other policies as well. And I don't remember off the top of my head, but it is in the documentation. Trinetra says, are you the same person in the masterclass? We look very similar, but that is Yusta, who is actually my manager. And we are different people. Enrique says, backslash in Windows, perhaps in Python it's the same. So I'm just going to pull up the command line interface really quick. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know which one's the backslash and which one's the forward slash. I am dyslexic, and this is one of those things that confuses me. Is how the slash go. Okay, Rasa train, yep, we don't need that. Interactive learning. Train model, the interactive learning process starting with provider model, no other directories posed. Training will be skipped. Blah blah blah. Rasa interactive. I don't think we need to do an interactive learning session, because that'll sort of change the stories. Rasa shell debug. It might be an option on Rasa shell. Let me check real quick. Excuse me. So what I'm looking for now is if I can just trigger an action, and I might not can. Certificate password, enable LPI, web API, course for the past intent, credentials, authentication, Rasa run. Run actions. That's not it. Visualize to show the stories. Rasa test. So this will run the test. I don't think I have any tests written. I was intending to do it once we got to soon. There'll be tests soon. Like that. Core test argument, stories, fail protection, evaluate model directory, NLU, create test train split, convert data between Markdown and JSON, export conversations to an event broker. That's what I'm looking for. Rasa X. Okay, so maybe there isn't in the command line interface. All right. Yeah. Oh, video is lost. Sorry about that. I can't control it, unfortunately. I wish I could. Okay. Let's just start our assistant over. Let's just go through this conversation real quick and see if we can get it up and running. Yes, love to take a quiz. I'm just gonna do this thing. So the interesting thing is that we had it up and running on our Rasa X server, and I think one of the times that we reloaded it, we broke the connection to GitHub. So I'm going to have to reconnect my Rasa X server to GitHub and pull down the assistant again, which is why we're working locally right now, because I want to make all of the changes that I need to make, and then, you know, just reconnect my Rasa X assistant, and it'll be updated and, you know, brought up to date, I guess is actually the thing that I wanted to say. It'll match. I don't know why I'm so sleepy. It is Friday though, so that's nice. Same error. No such file or directory. I promise you there is one. I promise you it exists. So I think what I'm going to do now is we'll just switch over to Rasa X and see if that fixes the problem. So did we change anything in here? yeah, we use this this f string thing, which hopefully just works. State 1, state 2, state 3, dialects, and then we're setting the dialect slot to dialects. Okay, so if we've changed the action server, I think we need to update the action server image, right? That stands to reason. So let's give it a shot. So let's just kill our Rasa X and, our shell and our action server. Love to just try things and see if they work. So what are we doing? We are doing docker build current directory. We add a tag. It's dialect, I believe, quiz. So rctabin is my Docker Hub username. Dialect quiz is the name of the repo, and then we want a tag, and I've just been using dates, so it is aug. Was it 28th? How is it the 28th of August already? And then once I build, then I need to push, and then I should update my Rasa X server. So let me get that all up and running. Yeah. Enrique says you're gonna dream dialect quiz responses. Gosh, I hope not. Sounds like kind of a boring dream a little bit. So docker push. Docker push requires exactly one argument. Nope, my name isn't Rasa. Dialect quiz. Yeah, it's interesting. Someone was pointing out the other day that like the problems that I've had have been down to one second, I'm just getting my terminal open for my assistant. I've been down to the machine learning bit that I did. And yep, but also it's like that's the thing that makes the assistant like actually fun and interesting. So I think it should be fine. Okay, so blah blah blah, already up and running. Transferring SSH keys to the VM. All right, so now we should be able to, so this is a terminal for my VM online. So right now what I want to do is I want to update the tag. So we uploaded a new action server image using a new tag. What we want to do is we want to update the Rasa X action server, Rasa X install script. So what we want to do is we want to tell Rasa X, hey, look for a new tag. And we will do that with, where's the command? Some information, I want the custom action server, that's what we're doing. Here we go. So we're going to use this this variable, wowee, to say what our action server tag is, and I believe it was August 28th, although it might have been all AUG28, so let's just check that real quick. What do we say here? AUG28. Okay, so that would have not worked if we had done that. So it is, get big, AUG28, and our image has already been uploaded to Docker Hub, so now all we need to do is get it down, and the easy way to do that is to use the one-line install script. So this is how we originally installed it, and the /e flag means something about like, hey, you can update this instead. So we're just going to rerun that real quick. Once we do that, we should have our fantastic. So now we should have our action server up and running with the new image in our Rasa X assistant. So let's go. There we go. Okay, so here is our assistant. I'm gonna leave you open in case I need you in the future. And as you can see, it's not connected to a GitHub repository right now. So at some point, I think the connection, with one of my updates, the connection got lost. So I'm gonna do secret stuff. Oh, my mic's in the shot. Be a little bit bigger. There we go. So I'm going to do some secret stuff in order to connect it. And the reason that I have secret stuff up is because I have an SSH key up on my screen right now, and y'all can't see that. That's a secret for me. Going to GitHub, go to my repository, and I'm going to get, so I'm going to get the SSH URL. We did actually recently add a way to do HTTPS if that's something you need, specifically for Rasa X Enterprise Edition, because we've really only had enterprise customers ask for it. So if you're working with Rasa X on a project for work and you really need SSH, and you really need not SSH, but allow write access, add the key. Oh, I need my password. All right, one sec. All right, there we go. Hopefully, yes, okay. Key is already in use, okay. I'm zooming out, I'm gonna verify the connection. Sorry, I know the secret stuff isn't super exciting to look at, but security is important. All right, connections been verified. We can come on back. Bam, there we go. So now you can see that this is green. You can't because it's behind me. So now you can see that this is green. It's the status, you're up to date with the Git server. Now you see what I haven't done is I haven't pushed all the changes that I made to Git. So let's do that just real quick. Beans. I was so close. There we go. And I am using GitHub desktop on Windows because it was much easier than getting the command line set up. Updates during stream August 28. Nope. There we go. I wrote 27th. I'm going to push. And then I'm going to see that this is out of date. And then I'm going to have to pull again. And it'll be all be fine. All right. Everything's been pushed. And try reloading and see if that will help. The system is up and running. Glad to hear it. Okay, so everybody looks like they are happy. And this is what was happening last time. So we had this dialect slot that was set like so. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. We haven't changed anything in our assistant except for the action server. And that we changed via the action image uploading, so it should be fine. But this is what was happening last time. This was our problem, where we had the slot was being set to this list, and then it wasn't being printed out. So that's why I've separated it into 3 things, and I'm saying each thing individually, and I hope that that will help. All right. Robbie says, who needs dialect quiz? Only linguists. I think it's fun. The New York Times dialect quiz, when it came out, was the most popular site on their page on their site for like a month. So I would say there's a fair amount of public interest. Ravi says, I mean, what business needs dialect quiz? I would say this is not a super businessy application. This is a fun thing to do for fun. Climate change, poverty, etc. are bigger problems. No, I would definitely agree. But I don't know, sometimes it's nice to do things for fun as well, right? Enrique says, better UX if you use the same sort of jargon as a customer. Yeah, no, definitely. Dialect and sociolinguistics is an important part of conversational UI design. So Greg Bennett, who's at Salesforce now, is a linguist who works in he worked in more like conversational analysis, but did a lot of sociolinguistics as well, and he uses those skills to help build, assistants that work better. For Indian dialects, would it be useful? I don't know a lot about Indian dialects. I know that India has many, many languages, many of which are not related to each other. So India, just as a country, is much more linguistically diverse than Europe, for example. Most European languages come from 1 or 2 language families. Indian languages come from like a couple of very different language families. Yeah. A tool says, Rachel, I'm getting action execution error whenever my user tries to move out of a form. Instead, it should move to another intent action, which is not happening. Any clue? Okay, so they're in the form and they're trying to stop it. I do not have a clue. I'd post about that on the forums and see if you can, or first I'd see if anyone else has posted about it on the forums, and then I'd try doing it yourself and see if that helps. Oh yeah, and UX means user experience. And UI is user interface. Coffee. Okay, so let's try running our assistant again and see if we can get these slots set. I mean, so the thing is, the slot set is just not being said. So let's give this a shot. Gosh, I hope this works. Because the thing is, I don't want people to take a quiz and then be like, okay, no answers for you. You just answered 25 questions. And I'm not going to tell you what your answer was. So I'm just going to go through and do this the way I've been doing it. I'll zoom out a little bit so we let's get to the bottom. Also, something that we need to work on the future is that you can see that these are being identified as bot challenge. So the intent is being identified of that. Because of the way I have the form set up, I'm just taking any answer to a question as any response to the question is the answer to that question. And I think I need a way to make sure that the bot challenge means that we get kicked out of the form and answer the bot challenge. But that's a problem for future, Rachel. I want to get it working first. I would call this a brew through, which you can see in my slot names. For this project, the slot names are what I would call various things because I name the slots. It works. Okay, so it's something specific about the local install. We can just ignore that. So there is a problem. So there is one problem, and it is that I didn't do this work good. But the state that most closely resembles your language use is Arkansas, followed by Alabama and Oregon. Not very similar states, but also I just filled these in basically randomly. So what this tells me is it's working, and I'm just going to just really quickly change this. Thanks for taking the quiz. No, because they're not really doing anything for me. I hope you had fun taking the quiz, and then cancel. I don't know why I tried to save that. Lewis Cass, hi, welcome. Krishna says, I think you missed my 2 questions above. Possibly. Let me check it out. What's the best fallacy to find the right action of the intent? I think I talked about those, the memoization policy. You could add that and see if that helps. If you had other questions, Krishna, I don't see them. Sorry. All right. It works. It does all the things that I said that I wanted it to do. So, yeah, just push. Ooh. And we'll just push them. Okay, fine. I guess we won't push to master on a Friday. Yeah, so we made some changes. We updated the thing. I think we're ready. I think we're good to go. I think we're ready to share it. It works. Yeah, let's do it. Enrique says, I agree it's just a quiz, but if your bot switches dialects by detecting your customer's keywords, it could be helpful to improve UX. Yeah, definitely. Also, I think this sort of thing where you have to ask a bunch of questions and then take that information that the user answered and figure out an appropriate response is a pretty common pattern that people have in conversational design in general. So I think the sort of like, you can take this code and then modify it to do things will help. It's time. Okay, so let's... Yeah, I'm just going to keep it the way it is now, and we will make additional changes over time. And actually, one thing that I want to do is I don't actually want to tell people all of their slot values. So I'm just going to update my story really quick. And the reason is that I don't think that that's going to be very exciting for people just to see all of their... I mean, would you want that, though? I'm just going to keep it, and we'll decide if we want to remove that a little bit later. Yeah. All right, yeah, let's share it. Let's do it. Conversation, share with guest testers, dialect, D-I-A-L, dialect quiz bot. Important. If you use this assistant, your responses may be shown during a live coding stream on Rasa's YouTube channel. Live coding. This project is part of an ongoing live coding series, live coding video series. If you use this assistant, your responses may be shown during a live coding stream on Rasa's YouTube channel. Please do not use the assistant. Use a quiz if you do not want your answers seen publicly. And at some point I can do a version of the server that's more private that people can use, but for now I'm just going to stick with the public thing. This quiz will ask you how you say various things and then tell you what 3 states in the US are closest have... It's a little small, isn't it? Let me make it bigger. No. Okay, save my work. Woohoo. Sorry, I'm just typing and reading. And tell you what 3 states in the US have people that use words most like you. That, and tell you what 3 states in the US have language usage patterns closest to yours. To start using the quiz, say hello. All right, I think this should work. I guess live coding is 2 words. I'm just going to really quickly run through this one more time. This project is part of an ongoing live coding video series. If you use this assistant, your responses may be shown during a live coding stream on Rasa's YouTube channel. May be shown during... in videos. I think that's a little bit clearer because not everyone's going to know what a stream is. If you use this assistant, your responses may be shown in live videos on Rasa's YouTube channel. Please do not use this quiz if you don't want your answers seen publicly. I'm just going to add a little spice on that because I think it's very important that people know that, and I want to be extremely upfront about what we're going to do with the data. This quiz will ask you how you say various things and then tell you what 3 states in the US have language usage patterns closest to yours. To start using the quiz, say hello. I think that's it. I think we're good to go. Okay. Question, the state in lower T for the what 3 states in the US? I'm assuming you're helping me out with spelling or capitalization on things that I missed. But it looks okay to me. All right. Let's generate this link. Bam. Maybe? All right, let's try this. Interesting. Okay, so the button ain't generating no link. I wonder if it is because I opened and closed it so many times. So let's just cancel. Guest testers. Talk to your assistant. Models training. Let's try it in here. A little weird that it's not generating a link. I'm not entirely sure why that's the case. Maybe it's the special characters, perhaps? I don't know why I keep trying to save it. Is it online? It's online. Okay. Maybe it doesn't like new lines. Interesting. Okay. So we have an active model, one active model, only inbox, conversations, yes, talk to your bot. I want to share it. Am I zoomed too far out, maybe? There's a description of your assistant that your tester should see. Dialect quiz bot. Interesting. It's not generating the link. Let's just try reloading real quick and see if that's going to help. Your system is up and running. Let's get you guys. Yes, let's do it. Learn more. It's going to be us sharing your assistant. Let's do that. Let's do this. Dialect quiz bot. Let's try adding those. So I have done this previously, and it looks like it's not working right now. Okay, so this might be a bug. When was the last time I updated Rasa X? What's my version? I want to share. Maybe I have to go through all of these. Let's do it. Okay. There. Not right now, maybe that'll help. Unless if my NLU inbox, I don't think that should change it. Inconsistencies were detected in this file. Oh, that's okay. That's just because I don't have training data for all the slots, so that should be fine. And stories, responses, NLU data. Inbox conversations. Aha, okay. So it was something about it was something about the order that we were doing things in, I guess. But this link should work. So let me just add a little bit more interest. Dialect quiz bot. DIALECT. All right, so here's the link. And let me just check it in another tab real quick. Just make sure it do be working. Okay, I don't want y'all to use this quite yet, because if I pop this open, you can see I don't see the information about okay, so the quiz link is showing. It is just not showing the description that I want my users to see. Is it being saved? It is being saved. If I reload this, do you see it? You do not see it. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna edit my responses a little bit just to make it a little bit clearer. Start quiz. Do not continue if you do not want to see your responses shared publicly. If you're not okay with your responses being seen publicly. Okay. Publicly. Yeah. So my big worry there is that people are going to say hi, and that still might show up. 111V says, probably your 8-paragraph description. Maybe I can start a smaller description. MK says, now you can dream peacefully. We can hope. All right, so let's see if I can, maybe a 1-paragraph description would help. Okay, so it hasn't saved what I said. Please note that this assistant is being developed as part of a live video series. If you use it, your answers may be seen in the videos. To start, say hi. The dialect quiz, say hello. Okay, so if I go back and then yes. Your assistant is talking to users. Okay. And then if I reload this, okay. Yeah, I think it's just I think it was just the length of my description. So yeah, that could maybe be a helpful error message. This is a dialect quiz. It is being, all right, did that get added? It's being developed as part of live videos. If your answers may be seen in the videos, to start the dialect quiz, say hello. Okay, I think that'll work, and I should dialect quiz bot link. I don't know that I need to generate the link. I think it might just even dialect quiz bot. Yes. Okay. Yes. I think I'm ready to share the link. All right. So I'm gonna pop the link in the Twitch chat if you'd like to try it out, and then I'm going to pop it in the other chat. Navandu says, is there a limit to the number of characters in the description? I think so. I think that I did not, I think I went very far over that and did not know. Okay. So I'm gonna send a link real quick. Send that. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited to use this assistant finally after 6 months of work. All right. So now we just got to wait for people to take the quiz. And I think that is what we will do and call it a day here. Let me just push my changes real quick. Yeah, and then I'll merge those in a little bit later. So yeah, feel free to take the quiz if you are comfortable with your answers being seen. And I will we'll check back in on Wednesday and look at some of the assistance, some of the answers y'all have given. I can see somebody has already sneakily gotten in there. Oh wait, I think this was me. Or maybe it was one of you. And we will continue with our conversational driven development pipeline and talk a little bit more about what that looks like. And also, I think it'll probably be a little bit of a scoping session to figure out, after looking at the interactions with users, okay, so how can we make this assistant better? What's going on that maybe isn't ideal? What things do we need to change? Yeah, and we'll make it better over time. And it will be a fun thing to do. It's alive, Kova says. Congrats, Robbie says. Thank you. I am very excited for people to be able to use this. I'm going to share it with my my linguist friends as well, who I think will probably care more than the average person. All right. Thanks so much. I am going to call it a day. I got some video editing to do for the NLP for Developers that's coming out on Monday. But I will be back on Wednesday for more live coding, on Friday for more, on Thursday for more paper reading, and then next Friday I will not be back because I am going to be out of office. 111V says, read some of the convos. I want to wait. I want to leave that as like a little treat for myself to do in the future. But we will definitely do that on Wednesday and go through some of the conversations. All right. I'll see y'all next Wednesday. I hope you have a great weekend. And I will talk to you then. Bye.